You want to go as an industry as a whole.
Some days are low.
Literally have one of the.
Because everybody starts from wherever they start.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Expectations can be a bit unrealistic.
I wasn't working.
That is the pinnacle.
All right, guys, welcome to Empower Hour. It is Monday. It is 7 o'clock Eastern, and we are here with another training. We got something really good today. We don't have a guest today. I know we had awesome guests in the past. We had Tanya. Who do we have? Let's recount who we had. Tanya Eliza, then we had Ray Higdon, then we had Amber Voigt, then Todd Falcone, then Big Al Tom Schreider, then Fraser Brooks. And we've still got a couple of people. We've got three.
Then we had Tom Challen.
Tom Challen, right? And we had just incredible people, guys. So you get us tonight, but honestly, tonight I'm really excited about because we're talking about a 90-day sprint. We give you an action plan at the end of this in what to do January, February, March, but also what to do now. And you might be like, oh, 90-day run, all of that stuff. I've heard this before. Guess what? You probably need to hear it again. Because if you didn't have the 2024 that you wanted, chances are you need to hear this again so that you have the 2025 that you do want. And set yourself up in Q1 to have massive momentum and action so that you have a team that's duplicating, creating success on the leaderboards of your company, and you are excited and fired up. Because your energy passes through to your team. When we talk about duplication, lack of energy, lack of action passes through as well. Lack of motivation passes through. You can duplicate that as well, right? If you're being a sourpuss because you don't like where you're at, guess what? Your team feels that. So sure. We're going to talk today about that. Paul, so I'm Angel Chandler. For those of you who don't know us or you just joined, we had a lot of people sign up for Empower this last week. So I'm Angel Chandler. I've been in the industry for 13 years. I'm a single mom of 2 up in Canada. Headed to Florida. I love this industry. I've trained, I've coached, I've done courses, we've done the whole thing. And Paul is the top leader in his company, our company, let's be honest. But, I partnered with him and we've just had some incredible success. Paul, introduce yourself for the people so they
you could figure out who I am online. Let's become friends on Facebook. But if you're here, it doesn't mean this is not just for people. We're currently building a network marketing. I apologize if you're not that bothers you a little bit, but isn't it better to get your coaching and training for people who are actually physically doing it right now at the moment instead of somebody who wrote a book 30 years ago or something like that? And some of those things are really, really good. So you got to get over the fact that, look, we're doing what we're doing. We probably love your company. If you're in one of the major companies or legacy companies, we love them all. Right? Our choice was a little bit different than your choice, but the training, the mindset, everything is going to be the same, right? Other than nuances of comp plan or product knowledge, you can get that from your upline. What you necessarily can't get is that one-on-one coaching or that uniqueness that we do because we don't follow the traditional path and the traditional trainers. We kind of go off the trail a little bit, and we take a little bit from all of these people, but we put a uniqueness on it, and that's why we're attracting so many people. So just breathe, relax when you're listening to this, and don't roll your eyes because this only stops you from growing. This means you have personal development work to do, right? Mm-hmm. Even if I say the worst things, at least it will teach you what not to say if you disagree with it. But you don't know what not to say unless you listen. You don't know what to say unless you listen. And 90-day runs, guys, here we go, another 90-day run thing. Angel, when you're saying that, I was like, yeah, but I bet you how many people really, really committed and did one in your entire network marketing career? And I don't think we're necessarily going to talk about a 90-day run here, but we're going to say, look, you got to put some time and effort in because we're going into the Super Bowl of network marketing. Mm-hmm. This is it, guys. December and Angel talked about, we have a lot of stuff going on in our organization that people are rank advancing and everything else. They're working. It's December and they're working. They're building. Angel pointed something out to me that I don't stress enough. If you don't think building into the holidays is important, and you may not be able to recruit anybody because nobody's really working right now. My enrollment date in my company, the day I joined my one and only network marketing company, was December 24th, 2017. Christmas Eve of 2017 is my enrollment date. My anniversary is coming up on the 24th of my enrollment into this company. So don't tell me people don't build during the holidays. The pros build during the holidays. I was recruited around Christmas Eve. Let's go, Angel.
I love it. I would love to recruit a Paul Capozio on Christmas Eve. I would work on Christmas Eve to get a Paul Capozio into my.
Somebody did. Somebody did.
And you know what, guys? We're not here to I don't know. I don't
No,
want
it's not a brag. It's the proof of a point.
Well, no, and I mean, I just mean like you might be like, but I want to have Christmas. Of course, you want to have Christmas. We talk about balance. We talk about, creating that. But if you really, what if 5 years from now, you can be away? I think it was Fraser Brooks in one of his trainings where he said, he pushed through a bunch of Black Fridays, and then now this time he was in Maldives for Black
In the
Friday.
Maldives, yeah.
Five
Celebrating Black Friday.
years later, exactly.
Yeah.
So big
Right, and same thing. Me having a team in 7 years with the company, right? And to be honest with you, what did it take that guy? 20 minutes, 30 minutes to call? He wasn't even a great call. It was just I was kind of bullied into it. But whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It worked for me. And we were on that call in and out in 20 minutes to 30 minutes. And then I signed myself up. I literally stopped what I was doing. I'll never forget. I was sitting at my home bar with my laptop, enrolling myself into our company.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And I bought the biggest pack. I bought the biggest pack that was available at the time.
It really comes down to how bad do you want it, guys. And if you know that you don't really want it that bad, then this might not fire you up. But if you know you want it really bad, if you know that you want to change something in 2025, if you know that this is the last year that you're watching every single penny that goes through your account, or your kids have asked for something that you can't get them, or you can't go and travel where you want to travel, then guess what? Something needs to change, and it's going to be money.
Yeah.
All of those things, time freedom, being able to be with people comes with money. So we're going to be talking about the 90-day sprint, build your 2025 momentum in the first quarter. But guess what? First quarter doesn't mean January 1st. First quarter means now. So momentum starts now. We talked about this, and I don't want to be like, guys, we told you, but back a couple of months ago, did Paul and I not sit and do trainings and say, start now? If you want to have a great January, start now. And guess what we did? We kept going. We kept building. We kept doing events. We kept showing up for our team. We kept doing calls, duplicating, working with them. And guess what? We're set up for a really, really sweet January. We've already got our events booked for January. We're already planning our other event in February. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, guys, we do what we teach. We're not sitting up here and
you can see it on the leaderboard right now. If you're in our company and you're access to the leaderboards, 90% of those people are making it happen.
Exactly. So, momentum doesn't begin in January, guys. It begins when you decide to act. I like that.
That's so true.
Yeah. Like the decision, right? When are you going to decide? If you're sitting here right now and you know the chances are you're not going to start taking action until after Christmas and after New Year's, and you need that little fluffy time where you kind of sit around and you enjoy your, okay, I'm just going to enjoy these few weeks and then I'll start. Well, then you're going to make your decision later on, hopefully. December is the month of preparation while others are slowing down. So we had a great training last week too, where we were talking about Christmas conversations. 20 conversations a day for 5 days a week gets you 500 conversations for the month of December. And then leading into January, you could have, what were the numbers? Like 20 new people on your team in January. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Just for wishing 20 people Merry Christmas every day. Setting goals now gives you a head start over your competition. Absolutely. We don't like to think competition, and we don't like to encourage it, and we think abundance. But guys, set your own competition. Challenge yourself. Look at yourself. Look at your results for the last 11 months. That's your competition right there. You got to challenge that. Because if you didn't have the results that you wanted, or maybe you had fantastic results, that's your challenge. Compete with that. Set your competition. And the new habits you build today are going to define your success for 2020.
And by the way, now that I wanted to do the habits you build today. In fact, I love Lynn Laporte does a whole thing about habit stacking and everything. And there's so much great training that comes out of the people who are part of this whole, Empower Our team or group. But what's wrong with competition? I mean, we all know that if we're in a race against somebody, for some reason we race faster. You know, many personal best times on sprinting are happen when there's multiple people in the race versus when you're racing against yourself, because that push is there. So competition is not a dirty word, but what it tends to do is expose us on where we need to focus. And either we're going to give up or we're going to use that competition to motivate us. So it's not like they're better than me. It's how much better can they make me? That's what competition is all about. And sometimes it doesn't feel, sometimes it feels icky, and sometimes people are, their ego gets in the way. But you know what? Some ego-driven people are going to motivate you more. Okay, go ahead. Why December is a secret weapon for
I wanted to go back to the screen just because the leaders don't wait, they create.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you don't see yourself as a leader, guys, write that down. Because guess what? You can start to create yourself as a leader just by starting to build or to believe that for yourself. Leaders don't wait, they create. We've said it before. What was the one that we shared before? Winners do what losers won't. And I know loser is a harsh word, but it's true. Winners do what losers won't. Do you
Right.
want to lose in 2025 or do you want to win? You've got to get out of your comfort zone. You've got to do the things that are uncomfortable. You've got to do the things that you know other people do. And guess what? It's for your benefits. It feels so good when you do them and you get the results that you were actually looking for. The momentum.
Lynn Laporte just texted me, and I am trying to figure out how to let you guys ask the questions in the chat and everything else.
Oh, okay.
It's always a headache for me to figure it out. I don't even know what button to press, whatever. But
Yeah,
don't
you
get
can
distracted.
activate. Well, yeah.
And don't go Googling it. Pay attention to what we're doing now. Don't go Google how to teach me how to do it. But Lynn Laporte said, the mirror is our competition. Yeah, but Lynn, every time I look in one, it just shatters. So I don't know what's going on there. But yes, the mirror is your competition. You could set yourself up that way. But Lynn, you're a very strong-willed person. So a lot of other people need that, the carrot and the stick thing. But yes, the mirror is our competition.
Why most people start too late. And we know this. And if any of us are being honest, you can raise your hand and say, that's been me in the past, right? You've started too late. You waited too long. You waited for the motivation to come before you created it, right? You waited and you thought something, you waited for perfection. Perfection doesn't exist ever. You're never going to be perfect. You're never going to be satisfied. The great thing about never being satisfied means that you're pushing yourself to do more and be more and give more and do more for others. I love that part of it. Waiting until January is the common trap for most people. People will eat their faces off all December and say, oh, it's because I'm setting my weight loss goals for January. No, what? What if you could go into January 10 pounds later? Right? What if you could enjoy the week of holiday eating because you've actually set yourself up for success for January? What if you could go take a week off with your kids when they're home from school and you don't have to feel like you got to work so hard because you set the pace for your January 6 weeks before that happened? It requires that groundwork. And if you're sitting here right now and you're like, oh my gosh, this is giving me anxiety because now I feel like I didn't do enough. And do I start today or tomorrow? And what is my plan? We're going to give you one. So don't have anxiety over it.
Do you know that most drug addicts, when they finally agree to go into a rehab center, have their biggest drug binge like right before they go in?
Yeah.
And, we're saying, oh, well, that's some drug addict. No, we tend to do the same thing. You just talked about that. Oh, I'm going to eat through the holidays and I'll start January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And nothing feels as good as thin looks. It's just the truth. If weight loss is your thing, I don't care what your personal opinion is. I don't judge people at all. But I'm going to tell you, but if that's something that matters to you, that's the decision you made. Is it really worth it to do the binge thing? Is it healthy? Is it a wise thing to do? Like, what do you feel like you're really giving up? It's not going to be your last meal, but that's a mindset challenge. Like when we do those little tricks to ourselves, like, well, I'll do this. I'm going to eat all through the holidays and everything else, and then I'm going to really start. What are we really saying about ourselves? Like, it's really a scarcity mindset. That's going to set you up. So if you're having those feelings, there's personal development work that needs to be done. And you talked about the perfection thing. Yeah, perfection's a myth, right? But the action is real. And is it really that bad? How much better are you going to feel on the other side of happy? How much better are you going to feel when you finally get to the other side of happy? Are you really going to remember, oh my God, those 36 cookies I had on Christmas Eve and when everybody went to bed? Because this was me, guys. This was me. This was me going downstairs and everything. And I try to be really good. And then I unwrap the foil or the plastic and there's those cookies there. And I'm like devouring them. Something was going on. Look at my before and after pictures. Something was happening for me.
That's so funny. I have a York peppermint patty story from New Year's Eve. I probably allowed myself to have 12 of them because my plan for January was to lose. This is probably like 10 years ago, right? But I remember it. I remember I'm still disappointed in myself from that. Like, it's so funny, right? Where it's just like, whoa, where was your self-control?
And how did you eat 20? How many? 12 of them?
12. Oh, York peppermint patties.
I love them too, but they have a cumulative effect of mint. You know what I mean? All right, we got to watch our time. We got to watch our time. Hey, want to say hi, Kathy? How are you? Kathy Rickley, we see you there. How are you? Diane, how's everybody doing there? Sorry. Go ahead, Ange. Sorry.
I'm hitting the wrong thing here. Sorry. Yeah, so Winners See December is the first chapter, not the prologue, right? Now is the time. Today is the time. Just figure it out. Follow the plan we're going to give you coming up here. The power
And
of the
how do you know? How do you know somebody's New Year's resolution if you're going to get it on January 1st? Let me tell you something. If you're really in this business, right? Do you think you're the only one in the network marketing space that knows that New Year's resolution time is one of the biggest times for our industry? And do you think that the names that you have on your potential list or your chicken list are not on somebody else's? Do you really think that? If you think you have the ideal prospect for either your weight loss product or your energy bill product or whatever it may be that you're selling, right? That is your product for your network marketing business, you really think that person's not on somebody else's list? Go through Facebook and look at the people you want to solicit and see if there's anybody else that are friends with them that happen to be in the network marketing business. Go ahead.
Yeah, so your Q1 shapes the entire year. And if you're not thinking in quarters for your business, guys, this is business. Get into a business mind. Even if you don't, we've talked so many times where it's like when you prospect people and say, hey, have you ever thought of owning your own business? Guess what? 99.9% of the population haven't and don't want to. That's like terrifying to them, right? Because they're thinking money, I can't do it. But you have to structure your year in quarters. Exactly like Paul said, right now, knowing that that's what's coming up, guess what? People need their kits. They need their products. This is when you start talking to people. What are your goals? How can I help you reach that goal? All of that, right? That is when we start talking to people. So your Q1 will shape the entire year. We know that Q1 is January through March. So we've got the weight loss. People are going into spring. Then guess what happens? We're going into summer, more weight loss. Then summer happens. Guess what? Everybody just disappears and takes the whole summer off. Like, you've got to prepare for that, right? But how do you incentivize people in the summer? How do you keep your team motivated? How do you keep yourself motivated? And then we come into what Paul calls what do you call it? The playoffs before we get to the Super Bowl.
Oh, we're in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
To figure out who's going to go to the Super Bowl. You are in the playoffs. So if you don't know how sports work, there's the playoffs, and then it gets dwindled down to the last two teams, and the last two teams going to the Super Bowl, and the last two teams going to the World Series. That's what's happening right now. And you're not ready for it because you don't know who are going to be your players, who are going to be the people that are going to lead you into the first quarter of next year. If you don't think, let's say you're working with another builder and someone who's considering, do you know that January 1st is also the time that all the networkers finally decide to move their business? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people right now, and I'm talking to a couple of like, yeah, I think I want to make my decision. I think I want to go in January 1 is when I'm going to switch companies, right? Because it's a business. Mm-hmm. Some people switch their banks on January 1. Some people, so there's reasons for it. If you're not talking to somebody right now, you're not even consideration for them to join you in this new year, even though they're ready to move companies. Peg Tucker, you had your hand up.
And you're muted.
I was not prepared.
Not prepared. You had your hand up. And I invited you up.
Because you invited me and I just looked over and I went, oh, shoot. I almost swore.
I don't think you said shoot. I don't think you said shoot.
I didn't.
Go ahead. What's up?
So So no, I saw that you invited me up, so I wanted to I raised my hand to say I'm sorry, I just saw that. But yeah, this I love that you're calling this a 90-day sprint, because who can't sprint, right? We can all, like, if a bear chasing you, you can sprint. If there's a sale on whatever it is you're after, you can sprint, right?
Right. Sure.
So yeah, so I love this, and I have to confess, at the same time I'm listening, taking notes, also sending friend requests, and and I'm also doing a screen recording of Kate Unger because I want to make a piece of content with that. So
Okay, but wait, Peg, but that's beautiful right there because that's the business, right? Let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard us or any other trainers talk about some of the things we're talking about tonight in some way, shape, or form before? Of course. So you can multitask in the business because you want to make good use of your time, right? So you're still getting fed, right? You're
Oh, yeah.
still doing your screen recording of Kate Unger, which Kate's been on fire lately, and that's great. And then your whole thing about your texting people or friend requesting people, which is part of your 5/5, right? So people who are doing something are doing something. Does that make sense?
always,
People that
always.
are doing something are doing something. All right, let's let Angel go back. I thought you had your hand up, and I thought maybe you had, but that's good stuff too.
No, I love this. The first point, first impressions matter. Guys, if you set the precedent that you're going to succeed no matter what this year, guess what? All of the people who fail at their goals are going to look back and see you continuing to do what you said you're going to do. Keep yourself accountable and show up. If you're doing social media or you have groups or whatever it is that you're doing, keep on showing up and just make it a non-negotiable that whatever you say you're going to do this year, you continue to do. Because when you return to people 3 months later and say, hey, how did you make out? Oh, I kind of fell off. Yeah, I really had good intentions, but they're watching you and they're seeing you continue and they're seeing you do the things that you say you're going to do, or that you were building, or that you were going to help people with, and you're sharing more success stories. The duplication starts now. You don't have to have a massive team, but the energy you create through your social media, in the way that you talk to people, in the vision that you have, where you're going, who you're working with, who you're partnered with, what that looks like, that energy is duplication, because people will start to raise their hand and say, man, you know what? I got to be a part of that, or I got to get in that girl's energy or that guy's energy. I just need that person to obviously support me because I haven't been able to do what I thought I was going to be able to do. I need help. Set the pace for the year now, early. The momentum is harder to create than sustain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Start early. When you get that snowball rolling, talk about snow here in Winnipeg. We got like a foot of snow last night. If you start that snowball rolling, it will continue to grow for the entire year, where you don't have to push it anymore because it starts rolling down that hill because there's a bunch of people pushing it with you. Statistics don't lie. Businesses that grow in Q1 experience faster annual growth. You don't want to have to.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Absolutely. You don't want to have to catch up to what your goals were. Set high goals for Q1 so that maybe you do get a little bit of a break later in the year. Maybe you do allow yourself some time to allow your team to do some things, or support your team, or be able to take a vacation, right? Do those things. You don't want to be catching up to goals that you set in Q1 and in Q3 and be going, oh my
Well, there's
God.
another theory to that too, because when you set the pace, the people that are most likely to join you in January based on the decisions they made to improve their life, whatever, there's two obligations. They have an obligation to themselves, not to you. Nobody has an obligation to you to build their business. They have an obligation to themselves, and you have an obligation to support them. That's how this business truly works. That's number one. But they are coming in with a decision that's made based on a goal. Therefore, that's why the statistics don't lie. That's why the people who join you in the first quarter, those January people, are in the right mindset that's going to keep them through for the year. But here's how it really works. You need to get under them right away. They have to come in. If you're in a business that's in a binary or unilevel, if they're a binary, you let them get their one on the one side, one on the other. If you're in unilevel, get their three across. But you got to get that going right away. And those people who made that business decision on January 1st, you're finally going to help them make their New Year's resolution actually come true. And when you help them make the New Year's resolution actually come through, because most people don't, you're going to have them on fire for the whole year. So the goal is Their New Year's resolution is in your hands. They've made the decision, but many of them really don't necessarily know how to get there. So now your job is to get them there because you got somebody in the right mindset wanting to start for the right reason. I'm sick and tired and I can't take it anymore. I want to finally get my New Year's resolution. Now you give them, you empower them. You like that? Empower them to get that ball rolling or the snowball rolling down the hill, and they get a little bit of success. Your January people will be your superstars.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and you've got to support them. You've got to check in with them. You've got to be like, hey, Paul, I know you started with me a couple weeks ago. How are you feeling? How are the products going? What are you experiencing? Or you started with me in the business. How can I help you? Are you following this step by step? How many people? We have systems and strategies outlined on a website where people can just literally follow it. How many times do we talk to people and say, did you watch the business roadmap to success video yet? Nope. Okay. So step one is to go back and watch the video. And that's just human nature, right? We have to support these people. We have to continue to nudge them along because they're starting on something that you're already maybe, 2 months, 6 months, 3 years, 10 years, 15 years into. They're just starting. They don't know what's possible for them. But your belief and what you see for them is what they need to continue to hear because you're asking people to make changes that they've likely never made before. And opportunities compound. January success gives you stories to share. Oh my gosh, Peg, hey, I know we've been friends for a long time. I'm running this weight loss group in January. I don't know what your goal. Well, that's kind of rude. I guess then I'm insinuating that Peg needs to lose weight. But I've got these awesome products that you might enjoy. You may not want
Well,
to.
do the suite of products. I've been working with people to help them reach their goals, whether it be their weight, whether it be regular overall anti-aging issues, aging issues, weight-related issues, so many different things. And I'm sure there's something in there would make sense for you. I'd love to work with you, maybe give you a free evaluation, maybe talk to you about your personal goals, whatever they may be, you fat bastard.
Right.
Make sure, don't leave the last part out.
No, but you're looking for testimonials, right? And any success, whether it be on your team, in your products, any success that you have, any text you get, hey, I'm on my 10th day on the product. I'm, having some great results. I can't believe it. I got on the scale. I'm 5 pounds down. I haven't seen the scale move in 6 months. I'm so excited. Or, hey, I actually slept through the night. I didn't sweat. Take a screenshot, share it on social media. That's your social proof. Create a file folder in your phone. That's your testimonials. Share them over and over again. Social proof you're able to keep on sharing over and over. Don't just share it once. Be like, oh my gosh, these things never get old. Hearing these results never get old. Share the before and after. Share, share, share. That's what people want to see. If it's working for somebody else, then they start to believe it can work for them.
Hey, I want to just read in the Q&A. Kate Unger was pointing out that there is a Q&A, and she's kind of showing it there. You see it on your personal end. Go down to the bottom under your screen. You'll see Q&A. And then she said, self-forgiveness is so important. So, Peg, you need to forgive yourself for stealing Kate's screen share.
Oh no, no guilt there.
I'm sure she's not mad.
I'm gonna make it for her. But I love what you were saying about the testimonials, Angel, because made me think of one of the things that Fraser talked about. There's two things that people need to get started, and it's either enough is enough, like they've reached their pain point, or seeing someone that they can relate to, like if he can do it, so can I. If she can do it, so can I. And that can be for the business or for a product, right? So those before and after pictures are for work so well for the product. We see them all over the place, and some of them really, especially if it's someone that catches your eye because you're like, wait, that's like me. Right? That reminds me of me. But it's also the business. Like if she can do it, if she, letting people get to know you and relate to you.
Absolutely. Kate's giving me permission to forgive myself for the York peppermint patties. So,
So you know what? I love this slide. Angel, do you mind if I kind of cover
Go
this one
for
a little
it.
bit?
Take it.
So rebuild your network, reach out to old connections and warm them up for January. I also do this when I teach for 90-day runs, is that mend some fences. We may have stepped on some toes or felt that our toes were stepped on over the year or so, and we kind of disconnected with some of the people. So it's a good time to mend fences and clear the air a little bit with some of those people. Okay, we sometimes get caught up in our own issues or their issues, and we kind of let these things build up. And they're usually never as bad as we think they are. So when you're reaching out to the old connections, also try to mend some fences before you get started, right? And say, hey, let's do this together. And maybe if you were the one, or you felt that you're at least 50% to blame or whatever, you can use your attention to kind of make up for it. An apology is great. Helping someone to success is even greater. The number two, share values. You guys should be doing this anyway. Share value, not values. Share value. You should be doing this anyway. This is the preeminent thing to posting. There's two things you must have when you're posting is provide value and have some sort of call to action. What's the next step? And a call to action doesn't necessarily mean buy my stuff, but there's got to be something to take them to the next step. It's like don't leave an appointment without booking your next appointment. Well, the same thing is if you're going to create some sort of a post, there should be some call to action. See my other post, DM me, give me a thumbs up, go visit my website, something, some sort of call to action for people to take action. I love number three, pre-book appointments. Hey, I know January is going to be busy for you, and I know there's a lot of people who want to get your time because I know that you're really striving for success or striving for weight loss or striving for looking better, feeling better. Whatever that goal is, I want to get on your list. So you may be evaluating a few things. This works really good for network marketers too, right? I know you may be evaluating a few things or a few companies or a few products. I want to be on that list for consideration. I want to be on your list. So my pre-book appointment, because I want to see if you have time in your schedule to give me an opportunity to tell you what I'm doing, and hopefully it's a really good fit for you like it was for me. Tell people what's coming. You're pre-booking appointments, right? Because you want to get on there. You want to be in the running for consideration. Personal development, always. My tip for personal development is if you're posting Tony Robbins videos or you're posting something or a great quote or whatever. I posted a Carl Jung, I'm doing Carl Jung right now. And I'm posting a lot of stuff from him. I'm reading it first. I'm contemplating first. Then I post it. So use your time instead of just trying to draw somebody in with some really cool quote, right? Understand what the quote means before you post some video of Les Brown. Watch the Les Brown video. Watch it first, all the way through. And if you can't, you have personal development work to do. Time management. When you tell people, I'm so busy, you know what that tells me? You can't do time management. Holiday energy? I don't know. I'm exhausted already, Angel. You want to take that one? No, I'm kidding. But go ahead. I know where you're going with this one. So, guys, you do this better than me.
Oh, for sure. You know what? Just be in that group. Be excited. Set your intention for excitement, knowing that if you know this is true, we know this works. Trust us. I promise. If you apply everything we're telling, if you apply 50% of what we're telling you today, you're going to have an awesome 2025.
Without a doubt.
Knowing that to be true and knowing that you're in full control of your success. Politics are not. Everybody else around you is not. The people who are not paying your bills are not in control of what you have available to you. You may need to tunnel vision yourself. That's fine. But you are in control. Claim that for yourself. So take that energy and be excited. People might be like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you this happy for so long. What is this? What's going on with you? I just know I'm ready for a great 2025. I'm setting myself up. I've got a business. Things are happening. I'm so excited. I just can't believe it. I can't believe everything that I've been working towards is about to happen. And so I'm in a great mood. Great mood. Why wouldn't we be? I'm fed. I'm healthy. I'm grateful. I've got my family. We're all together. Like, be that person where people are like almost nauseated because you're so happy. Right?
Right.
But that energy is set for you. You have
You know,
control.
I said this last night on last night's call. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful, but you just
Absolutely.
got to get it done.
Yeah. My doorbell is ringing and I have to go answer it because it's happened twice now. Paul, could you take this one?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
So your first quarter, this is pretty much the overview, right? You got to turn actions into results. So weeks 1 to week 4 is ignite the fire. What does that mean? Do you ever see a runner at the Olympics and they shake their legs and they shake their arms and everything before they get into the blocks and ready to go? Or a swimmer? I was a competitive swimmer in high school, and you would shake down and shake out those muscles. Well, that's what your week 1 to week 4 is. Okay, is you got to get that fire going, right? So this is something to understand, that you can't do this without a warm up. You can't do anything without a warm up. Now, energy is everything. If you're seeing our post and we celebrate and we edify and we do those things, not only does that motivate the people who are doing really well, it motivates us and it motivates you. If you've ever sit back and said, "Oh my God, they're doing so well over there. This is a really great thing." It's a motivator. Right? So that massive energy, that's why it's better. What did you say? It's easier to sustain momentum than to get it going.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much easier. Right now, you see a lot of momentum going on. Even if it's not necessarily in your direct team, if your company's in momentum and you're part of that, attach yourself to that. Okay? It's okay to run parallel. Hosting events. Guys, get back a little old school. I'm sorry, but our first event in Toronto was a ghost town. Okay? Our last event in Toronto, 23 people signed up, and we had 2 events of 15 people each. And most of the people at the event were builders, people that are already in the business. And 23 signups came as a direct result from that event within that 24 to 48 hour period. So host your event. Now, I'm going to give you a little secret. Whether you're in whatever, you're in a health and wellness business, you're in a crypto business, if you go to an event that you feel your business fits into, meaning a health and wellness show or crypto show, and you drive and you get a table there or you're wandering around, you're doing lead generation. You're finding people who are interested. Because if I'm at a health and wellness show and I'm standing behind my table, my goal is to show how I differentiate and substantiate what I do compared to all these other tables that are out there, because people are coming here and say, "Oh, health and wellness with hormones. Oh, health and wellness with calorie restriction. Oh, health and wellness with supplements. Health and wellness with vitamins. Health and wellness with whatever that may be." People are looking to find out ideas. So you need to make sure that when you're behind that table and you're not the only table in the place, the majority of what you're going to gather is lead generation and interested parties. If you think you're going to go to an event like that and sell a whole bunch of product, chances are, because of the way it's network marketing, that's not going to happen. That's going to happen offline. Okay? If you do an event that you are the primary presenter, right? Like what we did in Toronto, people will come in there to learn about hormone health. And the kicker was we were the only ones speaking. So we have a captured audience. So therefore, there's a better result of actually having a transaction or a close or a decision at the end of that event or within 24 to 48 hours of that event. So understand what you're walking into before you gauge your success or lack of success. Can you possibly sell product if you have some product on your table at the health and wellness event? Of course, absolutely. You may want to do retail. In fact, if you're doing those kind of health and wellness events, demos and cash transactions are probably bigger than the offline transactions, because people will do an impulse buy. So we'll coach you and train you on how to do events, where to do events, spend more time into what you're going to accomplish than what your table. I know it's great to set up a beautiful table, and it's great to buy the stretchy thing that goes over the table with your logo on it and have all your business cards printed up. Really, really good. But if nobody's looking, it doesn't matter. So focus on the meat and potatoes. What are you trying to accomplish out of that? Do 3 or 4 events, you're getting some success, yeah, go out and buy a table cover, or borrow it from someone in the company that's, "Hey, can I borrow your table cover? Mail it to me, I'll mail it back to you," whatever. So there's a lot of things you can do. Focus on closing leads warmed up in December. Okay, now, you should tell people you're spending money anyway. right? What who had that? Was it Kate who had the whole thing, or was it Teresa to say, look, when people no, when was it Wendy about people will buy if they're interested, money's not an objection.
That was Wanda. Wanda,
Wanda, why I keep calling you
promise
Wendy, Wanda.
Paul's gonna call you Wendy.
A fish called Wanda, Wendy.
Yeah.
I got to remember that. I like that movie, A Fish Called Wanda. A Fish Called Wanda. And I
No,
like her too. It's like so embarrassing.
yeah, she's amazing. But no, she is the one that said that, and that was huge. When
Yeah,
money's not an
repeat it again
objection.
because I stepped all over you.
No, I think this is so good. And we saw, I loved what you said about, don't focus on the presentation, like don't focus on the little details, the table coverings, spending all your money on this stuff. Everybody, it needs to look nice. No, our team focused on the energy of inviting, the excitement, this is big, you got to get here. You're going to miss out on this if you don't see this. And we had a room of people with their attention focus. And a couple of these joined us,
Yeah,
right?
right. I almost blew that too because I don't do well with hecklers. I just go right for the. I'm like one of those comedians that like that English guy where he goes right after them, you know. But think about this: if you're going to spend $150 on a table cover and it's your first event, you're probably better off buying a few of these with the single use pain relievers, or if your company has anything that's sampleable, single use packs, be able to say, hey, give me your name and address or your email. I'd like to send you some information, but I'd like for you to try this. And don't give that sample out unless you get something for it. You give what you get what you give. Right? Say, hey, if you're really, I would love for you to try this product. Just give me your name and email. I want to send you the PDF information on what this product's all about, but it's a pain reliever. Capture, give. No
Yeah.
capture, no, I don't want to be bothered. Well, then, all right, well, then you're probably not interested in the product then, right? Because if the product's good, you want to be bothered. If it's not, it's, so,
Mhm.
don't be afraid to use this as your capture.
Yeah.
You want their information. You don't want to give them your information. People forget, they don't know, especially at those big events where there's a lot of people displaying. Nobody's going to remember that poignant conversation you had about their mom's fibromyalgia. And they're going to be like, "Yeah, was that you that we were talking about? Oh, I thought that was the guy with the shakes. Or I thought that was the guy with the cheap electric bill stuff." They're not going to know. They're not going to remember. And there may be somebody there that's a more innovative pitchman than you are, and that's okay. We'll show you how to compete against people that you feel are better than you by giving substance.
Mhm.
Track your numbers and celebrate small wins. Celebrate every single win.
Mhm.
Track where you're going. It's the only way you're going to tell what you're really doing. Okay? Being on a call like this and feeling good and feeling excited is going to help you build your business, but it's not going to build your business. And we're so happy with those of you who are loyal. But if you had to leave this call early because you have a three-way call, or you have to leave this call early because you have somebody that wants to get back to you about your product or service, I'd rather see that than sitting here week after week after week and not taking any kind of action.
Mhm.
And by the way, I'd rather, doing those three-way calls, doing those introduction calls, doing those opportunity presentations, or telling people about your product or service is the business. Conversations are key. Okay? Lead by example. You'll see Angel sponsoring people, Peg sponsoring people, me sponsoring people, Kate sponsoring people, and your team's sponsoring people. Okay. Now we do things a little bit different here. We're going to teach Feed the Lions someday on this call, but we want to get some more people in, rank advancing. And if you're super rank advancing and you're in the top 3 ranks of your company, we'll teach you what Feed the Lions is. And it has nothing to do with Lion Pride or these guys. Feeding the Lions is really how you truly build a business with residual income and people who are going to stick with you. Angel, is
Yeah,
that the
and I've
last
been
slide?
with leaders. I've been with leaders who did not lead by example. I want to encourage everybody who to take a picture of this right now. You could even post this on your social media and be like, I got my week 1 to 4 map written out for my business, right? I am so excited. 2025 is my year. Here's why. I was just on a call. I can share the recording with you. I'm going to get it tomorrow. I would love to share it with you. Build your list that way. I'm taking action. I've decided no more, and it starts today. What does that look like? You're leading by example without having a team, right? If that's you, if you don't have people, if you don't have people you're talking to, lead by example just by your energy. And that is huge.
Right.
So,
I
weeks five,
say I
yes.
I love that you guys are leading by example with these events because we can all meet on a Zoom, right? And I think in about 4 years ago we started doing these Zooms and we got really really into them. We got really really lazy fast, right? And and it can feel like you're doing something sometimes, but meeting people in person, like the rewards, like what you guys just experienced, the rewards are so great for taking that effort and being there for people and being present and letting them know you. It's so different when you meet someone in person. You're like, wow, you're in 3D, right? So yeah, I love that you're leading by example for this, and it's exciting.
Old school's coming back, guys. The
Mm-hmm.
online is great. It's so great to build on social media. Cold market is amazing. Doing all of that stuff, fantastic. But old school's coming back. People are tired of the COVID days of staying home and not having physical and human interaction. We're seeing it reverse, where we're having better results from an in-person event
Mm-hmm.
in a condo event room than
Right.
we are from inviting to a Zoom, right?
Right.
People hear this, oh, come to a Zoom presentation. It's like, oh, sigh. I'm not going to bother. Like, I'm just going to be sold something. I'm not going to have that interaction. Sometimes it's even hard to put that energy through a Zoom, right? If you can't feel and experience a person's physical energy, that's very hard. So let's talk about February. What does February look like? So I hope you guys, again, take a picture. This is your sprint map. You want to sprint. You want to get that sprint going in Q1. Duplicate and grow for February, right? Train new members to follow your process. So whoever you brought in January, guess what? You continue to work with them. You continue to make sure they know how to get started.
You
And
have to use that sexy angel voice. Continue to work with them.
continue to work with your
You
team.
got my attention. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting.
Guys, let's interact with your team. No, but it's true. Like you have to continue, give them that personal attention. It's going to put more time on your clock. So all of a sudden, building your business in 60 to 90 minutes a day turns into a couple of hours.
Right.
A couple of hours on the weekend that you got to spend with your team. Maybe you block out your Saturday afternoons and say, hey, I've got time for my team on this time. Maybe you do a group call and you do a one-on-one coaching, or you bring in your upline and say, hey, can you join me on this? I'm not really sure how to grow a team. I haven't done this before, but I've got people who need to know. And hopefully if you've got a great team, they're already saying that to you. They're already doing that for you. They're already reaching down for you. Don't ever get offended by an upline reaching down to your downline. Don't ever get offended by that. We have heard that a couple of times. It's like, come on, I'm helping you, right? Don't get offended by that. Don't hoard. Don't try to micromanage your team. Accept the help and accept the
Right.
fact that you've joined a great team.
Yeah. Nobody's moving your people around or stealing your people. We got to watch our time right now.
I
But
know, I know,
also,
I know.
if you
Oh
make
my
time,
goodness. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you make time, we're never going to finish this whole training.
We
So,
only got one more slide after this. It's just
okay,
March.
so if
So
you make time for your boss, you got to make time for you, for your
Mhm.
business. Okay?
Yeah.
So, go ahead. Yeah, we got to move. Identify new leaders that, find out who your people are going to run with. Recruit people better than you,
Yeah. And work
right?
with these people, talk to them, get those relationships going, know how many kids they have, how old are they, where do they live, what do they like to do, what does their spouse do? Ask those questions, build the relationship, build a stickiness with your team, identify your leaders. That not everybody is going to be a leader. Not everybody's going to be somebody that you're like, I'm going to partner with you and lock arms and build. But when you find those people, give them your time. Start prospecting for the next wave of recruits. So you duplicate what you did in December and January in
And fall
February.
back.
Yeah. And then this is I didn't finish. Oh, here we go. So here's March, guys. Weeks 9 to 12 is maintain momentum. Use January and February success stories as recruitment tools. So now you're going into
Yes.
Q2, right? These are your stories. This is what happened in Q1. If you guys missed it, this is what, this is what I'm doing. This is who I worked with. This is the success they had. Are you the next one I need to be working with? Are you the next one who needs this weight loss result? Did you fall off of your January goals and now it's March and you're like, oh my gosh, it's bikini season is 3 months away and I haven't done anything? Revisit the cold leads. So go back to old follow-up. Oh my gosh, Paul, we haven't even, it's been 3 weeks. Oh my gosh, my Q1 was so busy. How are you? I wanted to reconnect. Where are you at right now? How's your business going? Chances are people join something out of emotion and are already feeling some sort of regret, right? In March. Focus on team retention. That's huge. You've got to spend your time with your team. Set up leadership roles for key team members. This is where we talk about identify the different strengths in your team. You're building, when we say team, we don't mean recruit a bunch of people exactly the same as you and you all do the same thing. No, identify who's better at this and who's better at that. And this person can post stuff and this person can answer these questions. And this is your product person and this is your social media person. Identify those roles within your team and review your goals and set new ones for Q2. So this is your own personal business duplication. And we'll revisit this in February, March. Probably we'll do a whole new Q2.
I love the revisit the cold leads with fresh results to share. That's so powerful. Hey, I contacted you in January and I know you had your goals and maybe you joined some other opportunity. How's it going? Because here's what we were able to do and here's where you would have been. So I just wanted to recount with you because listen, when you realize you're in the wrong, what is that saying? When you realize you're in the wrong room, I just posted this on my feed. It's really good about, if you make the wrong decision, the quicker you make the decision to get out of it and unravel it and start onto your something new is really, really important.
Yeah.
It's that important with relationships. It's like sometimes we stick around for too long, for too long, right? And it's okay to find somebody you said lock arms with. Okay, Angel and I have locked arms, right? Find somebody. So maybe that's the way you need to build. Because if your organization is big enough and you got to spread thin, like we got to spread thin, we got 4 minutes to get off this, reset, and do our Hispanic call. Okay?
Peg, final thoughts? You got 2 minutes.
Oh, wow. Well, just, really, really good stuff. I think starting now is really important. Letting people, warming up those leads, warming up those people that you're talking to so that you have conversations to go back to, right? Starting 5 conversations right now between now and the end of the year. I don't know. I didn't do the math on that and I'm not going to.
5 conversations or 500 conversations?
5 conversations a day.
Between
now and January 1st, you've got a lot of people to just start conversations with and then keep that up, keep that ball rolling.
Well,
right?
Angel's training on the 25 days of Christmas is 20 people a day. The difference between the 5 conversations is interactive conversations. The simpler may be what Angel's doing is for that holiday period is just giving them messages because those will accumulate over time and you're not expecting a feedback. With 5 a conversation doesn't count for your 5 for the day unless somebody gets back to you and you engage the conversation. So you may have to start 10 conversations to get 5 responses. Whereas with this 20 a day for 25 days during Christmas, or really the first quarter, is 500 conversations that I guarantee over the next 30 days, they will come trickling back in. Oh my God, I didn't see this. I was Christmas shopping, whatever. Thank you for reaching out to me, yada, 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 yada. Okay? Yep. That's a different thing, and it's a really low pressure but high volume strategy, the 20 for 25. We have to go. Love you guys. Angel, she is still, Kate, she is still hard on herself, and they're not mint thingies. Okay, she's in Mexico. She doesn't know what a York peppermint patty is. I think they were invented in Canada. No, I'm kidding. And then, and Sandy, amen, people to contact. Contact people, talk to people. Don't have commission breath. If you say, I want to help people, then tell them, find out what's bugging them. Whether it's money or aging or wrinkles or,
Yeah. Everybody who joined in Toronto did not join because we sold them on anything. They joined because of the testimonials, both business and product. People want the stories. They want the experience. They want the energy. Remember that and have the belief in yourself and have an amazing December.
We're saying goodbye. Gotta go. So long. Love you guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.